Hi you guys, sorry I'm not here today. We are moving on with our factoring. We're going to follow the same process that we've been doing, except this time we're looking at difference of squares. So we've done this before when we've practiced our FOIL and our multiplication of our binomials. And now we're just going to work backwards. So I just want to kind of refresh us. So we're multiplying our binomials, and we used our FOIL method. So that means we need to multiply our x to both components of the second part and the positive 12 to both components of our second parentheses as well. So that leaves us with x squared minus 12x plus 12x minus 144. And we always notice that what happens when we combine those like terms? Well, they cancel out. That means our difference of squares. So we've got x squared minus 144. That is just a rule of difference of squares. Those middle terms are always going to cancel out. And now we have something squared, and this 144 was our 12 squared, and so it's the difference of two different pieces squared. Same thing goes here. So I'm going to have 2x times 2x, which is 4x squared. My center pieces are going to cancel out, you know that. So then I have minus my 5 times 5, which is 25. That would be the answer for our second problem as well. Okay, so think about how could we work backwards? How do we know how to go backwards? Okay, so here's our rule. Same thing we've been following. I went ahead and changed what our object is really looking like, and that's the ax squared minus a c. We're always subtracting with these difference of squares, so then I kind of showed you what happened to this middle. Well, they cancel, so it becomes a 0 in the middle. So the two numbers have to add up to be 0, but they need to multiply to be our a times our minus c. Okay, same steps that we've been following. The first step is finding those factors of our a times c. So find factors of a times negative c. So our a times negative c here is 25 times negative 36. Okay, that gets us to negative 900. And if we find factors, we're going to want to make sure that they add up to 0. So I can go ahead and tell you it's going to be negative 30 and 30. The same number, just one's positive and one's negative. That's what you want to see. So if I was to factor by grouping with this, now that I've chosen that's an I, pair that adds to 0. Now we're going to split the middle. And factor by grouping. Okay, so splitting the middle, that gives me my 25x squared minus 30x plus 30x minus 36. You've got to group them before we can factor it. So we're going to group our first two terms. You always, always, always have to have a plus sign in between your two sets of parentheses. This time we're good. We don't have to do a plus and minus on this. Then we see what we can factor out of this first set of parentheses. So just for this first set, what can we pull out? Well, that's going to be a 5x, and we're going to be left with 5x minus 6. And then we have our second set. So we know it's going to be plus something. What are 30x and negative 36 both factorable? That's a 6. So this is 5x minus 6. Your goal always is for these parentheses to end up looking the same. When they look the same, then you can factor that to the front as well. So you're left with 5x minus 6 in front. We divide by those, so those go away, and then we need to figure out what is left. Well, that's my 5x and my plus 6. And now you have your two binomials, your two factors that make what I started with. I'm going to quickly do number 2 for you. This time I'm not going to follow that rule. I'm just going to ask myself, what is the square root of 81? Well, that's 9. What is the square root of x? Squared. That's x. What's the square root of 169? That's 13. So I know one of them is going to be a minus 13, and the other is going to be plus 13. It's as simple as that. That's my answer. Sometimes you don't need to do the full 4 steps. If you choose to do that, that's fine. You'll always get the right answer. But sometimes you can go straight from my original problem to my answer. Sometimes these squares are hidden, right? You need to factor something out first. So we need to ask ourselves, what can we factor from 18x cubed and negative 50x? Well, that's going to be a 2x first, and then we've got a 9x squared minus 25. Now you have two numbers on the inside that are perfect squares. Okay, so you can do your difference of squares. So 2x still needs to remain on the outside. You're going to end up with two sets of parentheses. There's going to be an x part. You know one's going to be a minus and one's going to be a plus. Okay, square root of 9, that's 3. It's going to be on both of them. Square root of 25, that's 5. It's going to be on both of them. That is our factored form of our disguised difference of squares. These are for you to try, so at this point I want you to pause the video, try to do these two examples, and then you can check your answers with my answers. Here are the answers for 1 and 2. I went ahead and worked out the first one, this number 1, by doing the factoring by grouping method, and then the second one I just asked myself, what is the square root of 121? What is the square root of 144? I know one has to have a minus sign, one has to have a plus sign. It does not matter what order you have these written in. It's just like me saying 2 times 3 is the same as 3 times 2. Not a problem. Last one for you guys to try on your own is number 3. Go ahead and try by yourself. This is another one of those disguised ones. So ask yourself, what can you factor out of 4x cubed minus x? Here's the final answer for this solution. You need to first factor out your x. Both my 4x cubed and my minus x were divisible by x. That left me with 4x squared minus 1, and those are both perfect squares. 4 is made up of 2 times 2, 1 is made up of 1 times 1. Make sure you have 1 as a negative, 1 as a positive, and that's your final answer.